Hey gang, it's your boy Platt, and today I show you how to make bacon jerky. So let's go. In the famous words of the late Waylon Jennings, only two things in life make it worth living: well-tuned guitars and firm-feeling women. But I think Waylon might want to throw in one more, and that's bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? Everybody loves bacon. And since you may have noticed, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, I've been on a little jerky kind of mood lately, or made these jerky videos, gotten into jerky making. So I thought, well, let's make some bacon jerky. You've probably seen it at the convenience stores, your grocery stores, wherever, bacon jerky. So I thought, well, let's give this a try. Real quick, we'll go over what we need. First, we're going to need, obviously, bacon. I've got 1 pound of bacon. We're doing a 1 pound batch. This is a thick sliced bacon. You can use regular slice, thick slice, whatever. I think I like thick slice because it's probably going to approach what you get in the bag as far as thickness, what have you. So we have 1 pound of thick cut bacon. Some people just take the bacon and dehydrate it, either in the oven or in a dehydrator or what have you. So people don't add any spices or anything to it. Bacon just tastes good, so we don't necessarily have to spice it up, but I am going to a little bit today. Let me tell you how we're going to do that. We'll take a little bit of brown sugar. I've already put it in the container for purpose, about a cup or so. Then a little black pepper and a little chili powder, add a little spice. Just to kind of spice this up, I think the brown sugar with the bacon, you know, that sweetness, and you add a little bit of the pepper, that sweet, spicy kind of combination. That's what we're going to do today. So, real simple recipe. Let's get to making some bacon jerky. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I've got a rack and a baking tray, and we're going to preheat our oven to 300 degrees. Now, why are we doing this? Well, as you've seen, if you've seen any of my previous jerky videos or anybody else's jerky videos, we talk about how you don't want a lot of high-fat meat. The fat is hard to dehydrate and could end up ruining your jerky if you have too much fat. Well, as you can tell by the package and just knowing bacon, there's a ton of fat. Now, we're not going to trim the fat off, but what we're going to do is we're going to put the bacon on a rack, and we're going to heat it in the oven for about 15 minutes or so, kind of render off some of that fat. We don't want to lose the flavor. We're not going to cut off all the fat, but we do need to reduce the amount of fat, just because that fat's going to make it impossible for us to thoroughly dehydrate the bacon. So, but we're not going to cook it. We don't want to get the crispy edges or whatever, so we're going to bake it, just kind of sweat off that fat for about 10-15 minutes. So I've got the oven preheating, and then while that's preheating, I'm going to go ahead. You can, if you want to, just use the whole slice or whatever, but I'm going to cut this in half just to make it more into, you know, regular kind of bite-sized pieces than just a full strip of bacon. Also, too, that makes, when I go to tray it, those smaller pieces make it easier to kind of cover more of the surface, you know, areas. So I'm just going to take our bacon out. Oh gosh, that looks lovely. I don't normally get emotional, but I might during this video, just to warn you. So alright, I've got my bacon here in strips, and I'm just going to cut that perfectly in half. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay these strips out on my baking rack. And I'm going to finish with all this bacon, and then when my oven's ready, we're going to toss her in, like I said, for about 15 minutes. So let me get this set up. We'll go ahead and we'll kind of pre-cook our bacon, and we'll come back and then we'll add our seasoning. Alright, so we've left our bacon in the oven somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. As you can tell, we really didn't cook this bacon or whatever, but we just sweated off some of that fat. More importantly, any potential bacteria or whatever, we kind of cooked that off. Again, similar to when we use ground beef for jerky, we'll do the quick 10 minutes in the oven, just again because we are dealing with potentially hazardous foods. A little bit for safety, and again a little bit to reduce the fat. But you can see the bacon hadn't shrunk much. What we're going to go ahead and do now is make our, I guess best term is rub. I've got, like I said, about a cup of brown sugar, and we're just going to add a little bit of black pepper. This is all up to you, how much heat you like, how much pepper. Like I said, I'm using a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of chili powder, and we are going to mix that all up. Like I said, we're wanting to get a really nice peppery, hot, sweet kind of add a little more pepper. Alright, and we're just going to take our strip of bacon, there should be a little sweat on it, and we're just going to kind of dunk it in here. Just light coating, we're not, battering this, or we're just a little coating, and we're going to go ahead and put it on our dehydrator rack. And we're going to just coat all these pieces. You want to make sure you get it covered. And don't mind if clumps form in this while we're, this is a single use deal, so we're just going to, like I said, start laying our bacon around on our tray. Let me go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll come back to turn on our dehydrator and talk about where we go from there. Alright gang, so I've got this trayed up on our dehydrator. Real quick before I turn her on, I want to talk about time. The other videos I've done where I've either used the dehydrator or the oven, I've generally been with some form of ground beef, but we've also used turkey, other things. And generally we've been around the 4+ hour range. Because the high fat content of bacon, I've got a feeling it's going to take much longer. Some of the videos and research I've done, anywhere from 5 to 6 hours up to 12 hours. Now some of the longer examples, they did not do the preheating or pre-cooking like I did, so hopefully that'll shave off a couple of hours. But I got a feeling this is still going to be at least 5 to 6 hours in that range, so I probably won't come back and check on this till at least 4 hours. Now, I'm sure you'll notice the smell, you might want to peek or whatever, but just be prepared for a longer time than the standard jerky. Just again, even though we've pre-cooked it, there's still a lot of fat. This is going to take a little while, so just be prepared for that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and then we'll come back in about 4 hours or so and see where we're at. Alright gang, so it's been about 4 hours. You can still hear I have the dehydrator on, but I thought we'd go ahead and give it a check just to see it. Take the lid off. Take an average size piece here. And alright, we're starting to get some firmness on this, but it's still fairly limp. There's still a lot of sweat on the meat. Ooh, it does taste good though. There's still plenty of sweat on the meat. One good thing about bacon, there's still so much fat in there in the way that the meat's marbled. We're not really worried about making this too tough, dehydrating it too much, making it too dry. That's probably not an issue we'd face here unless we let this go overnight, longer. But we're going to let this go for another hour or so. It does appear that this is not going to take 7 or 8 hours, but we're probably going to let it go another hour or so, and then we'll come back to check. But it's starting to firm up. Like I said, it's still a little soft, still plenty of fat to drip off, but I think we're getting close. Alright gang, so it's been about 6 hours and our bacon jerky is ready and we have the moment of truth. Let's give her a try. Oh, that's good. Get the brown sugar, get a little bit of that pepper, the bacon's salty. These flavors all work together. I might eat all this just right here. We came out to about a total of 6 hours in time, so it went as long as we thought. The pre-cooking helped with that. I just kind of dawned on me. In the past, we've kind of patted down meats with any kind of liquid marinade, but here we probably could have patted down that bacon after we pre-cooked it, take a little bit of that moisture, the rendered fat off, but still turned out all right. Great jerky, real simple recipe. Just remember we had a little brown sugar, a little chili powder, a little black pepper, and we coated, or we lightly coated the bacon after we pre-cooked it. And we did 1 pound of bacon. Didn't reduce too much. I bet we probably have 3/4 of a pound or so still left over. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.